And in the latest that's coming in, former USA NSA General Mike Flynn has made a major claim. Iran's new supreme leader, Alireza Arafi, has also been killed.
The whole world is witnessing an unprecedented historical turning point in the Middle East. Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, has passed away forever following a massive airstrike dubbed Operation Epic Fury, leaving a giant power vacuum and plunging the country into a succession storm. Amidst the gunfire and chaos, a little-known cleric named Alireza Arafi was unexpectedly brought into the Interim Leadership Council, becoming the brightest candidate for the supreme throne. Will he bring stability or push Iran into a bloodier era of confrontation than ever before? This dramatic post-Khamenei story and its humanistic lessons are unfolding by the hour. What do you think about the future of Iran? Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment sharing your thoughts right below so we can discuss. The entire geopolitical landscape in the Middle East has undergone profound upheavals and entered a new historical phase. The large-scale coordinated airstrikes between the United States and Israel under the name Operation Epic Fury have strongly impacted the military network and leadership apparatus of the Islamic Republic of Iran. Allied forces used B-2 stealth bombers, Tomahawk cruise missiles, and attack drones to strike over 1,000 targets across Iranian territory in just 24 hours. The biggest consequence was the departure of Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei after an airstrike hit his compound in the capital, Tehran. The death of the Supreme Leader has opened up a massive power vacuum, pushing the ruling system, which was already facing many challenges, into a severe succession crisis. However, the regime's apparatus acted quickly to maintain stability. On March 1, 2026, the Iranian political system officially selected and brought cleric Ayatollah Alireza Arafi into the Interim Leadership Council. Arafi's participation alongside President Masoud Pezeshkian and the head of the judiciary Gholam Hossein Mohseni-Ejei immediately made him one of the prominent candidates for the highly responsible position of Supreme Leader. The rise of Ayatollah Alireza Arafi carries many distinct features compared to typical politicians. According to experts, Mr. Arafi has been mentioned more often in the last 2 to 3 years. He is not just a politician, but has also contributed to spreading the ideology from a propaganda perspective. This is tied to the foundational pillar of the Islamic Republic since 1979, which is the promotion of Islamic values globally. His path of advancement is based on a solid theological foundation and loyalty to the regime's ideals. Ayatollah Alireza Arafi has gone through many important ranks in the clerical system. He once headed Iran's seminaries, led Al-Mustafa University, and was a member of the Guardian Council and the Assembly of Experts. In addition, he also took on the role of leading Friday prayers in Qom, the spiritual power center of the country. According to independent sources, his position at the head of the seminaries and his membership in the councils placed him at the center of the most important religious establishment. Being chosen for the Interim Leadership Council holds decisive significance because the third member must be a theologian selected by the Expediency Discernment Council. Jason Brodsky, policy director of United Against Nuclear Iran, described Arafi as someone nurtured in the ideology of communism throughout his career. He affirmed that this ideology is tied to international interests. The Iranian system elevating Arafi to the Interim Leadership Council is seen as a clear signal that he could be the leading candidate to replace Ali Khamenei in the role of Supreme Leader. These steps reflect an effort to maintain continuity amidst massive changes. Arafi's ideology is clearly expressed through his statements on international relations. He once emphasized a steadfast stance with the regime's historical legacy. In a 2019 sermon, he expressed his desire for unity to the very end alongside the resistance forces. These words show a deep commitment to the core ideology. Although a cleric, he still maintains close ties with the national security forces through his educational leadership role. Al-Mustafa University, under Arafi's leadership, has become a vital training and recruitment center. For this very reason, this educational institution previously received sanctions from the U.S. government on anti-terrorism grounds. The use of an academic environment to support the armed forces shows that Arafi does not just stop at theory, but also contributes to consolidating the security apparatus. These activities are situated within the broader context of national stability. Arafi's leadership nature is also reflected in his handling of internal issues. When the public expressed their opinions, he made strong statements to defend religious traditions. He once warned of consequences for actions affecting clerical symbols. These words were aimed at maintaining social order in a highly volatile context. They reflect an effort to preserve the core values of the community. Despite having a perfect resume in the eyes of the regime, Arafi's path still faces several challenges. He has never been a core member of the military security establishment. He has also never led any branch of government. Specifically, he does not bear the title Sayyid, which denotes an esteemed lineage in the Shiite tradition. These factors could affect his religious legitimacy compared to previous supreme leaders. Nevertheless, his position on the Interim Leadership Council helps Arafi compensate for these limitations. He has the opportunity for deeper exposure to foreign policy and national security. This positions him as a significant contender in the power race. Furthermore, Arafi is highly regarded for his contributions to the development of education and religion. His diverse experience in government education and religion provides the necessary baggage for him to take on this massive responsibility. These B-2 Spirit aircraft are known to the world for their incredibly expensive value, reaching up to $2 billion each. Their true power and massive value lie in their superior stealth capability, helping them bypass the most advanced and dense defense systems. The use of these high-tech vehicles aims to accurately strike targets located deep within enemy territory without being detected. If Arafi takes power, the power structure could shift significantly. Real power might gradually transfer to the military elite. Arafi would serve as an ideological and religious smokescreen. He provides a legitimate cover for the security apparatus to maintain the regime's survival. This transition highlights the lesson about the balance of power in any society. The context surrounding this event is fraught with challenges. Khamenei's death occurred when the nation was under heavy military impact. Operation Epic Fury is not just an act of retaliation, but also strategically far-reaching. Iran carried out attacks through the Gulf of Oman, targeting oil tankers and infrastructure, causing some casualties. In response, forces attacked and destroyed Iran's missile capabilities. Fires are still burning at the Bandar Abbas naval bases, and traffic through the Strait of Hormuz is severely affected. A former U.S. Secretary of State noted that Iran's economy has suffered massive damage and the military is in a difficult position. Domestically, millions of citizens have poured into the streets, expressing their emotions about the change. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security also issued a warning about the risk of individual actions from extremist groups. The British leaders' initial concerns about the risk of retaliation quickly became a reality just one day after the decision to concede was made. The vital British military base on the island of Cyprus, RAF Akrotiri, had to suffer a surprise attack from a suspected unmanned aerial vehicle. This event taking place on March 2nd sounded an alarm bell about the widespread extent and ferocity of the conflict. President Donald Trump, who ordered the strikes, questioned Tehran's future leadership capabilities. He emphasized that Iran wants to negotiate but needs clarity on its representative. Representative Brian Mast reaffirmed that the goal is to eliminate threats to citizens. These statements show the need for dialogue and regional stability. The Iranian people are currently showing a variety of emotions in the face of this upheaval. Some are rejoicing, hoping for a new future free from the old pressures. This event reminds the international community of the value of freedom and the desire for positive change. All those who believe in peace can draw profound lessons about the power of the people's will. If you found this content provided educational value and helped you better understand the global situation, please hit like and subscribe to the channel to support us in continuing to share such humanistic stories. Your support will help spread knowledge to more people. Arafi's rise proves the conservative nature of the power system in Iran. He comes from a background as a missionary, an educator, and is an ardent supporter of the national forces. Arafi represents the continuation of policies focused on historical legacy. He emphasizes the role of education in shaping the new generation. However, Arafi's position, if assumed, will be different from his predecessor. He seems to be a compromise solution to cover up the reality of dispersed power. The military and security forces might hold a larger role. Arafi provides a religious cover for the regime's survival. Under external pressure and internal reactions, Iran is facing a crucial gamble. A declining economy and resistance from people craving change create a complex picture. Empowering Arafi does not bring a promise of immediate stability. It signals a new era of confrontation requiring wisdom from all sides. The international community needs to watch closely to support peaceful solutions. The biggest lesson from this event is the importance of collective leadership in a crisis. The Interim Council, with its 3 members, shows an effort to divide responsibilities. This helps reduce the risk of overly concentrated power. Educating the public about such leadership models will help the younger generation better understand the value of democracy and social stability. Furthermore, the Iran story is a reminder of the consequences of armed conflict on ordinary civilians. Millions of lives are directly or indirectly affected. We need to emphasize the role of dialogue to avoid escalation. Nations should learn from history to build bridges instead of walls. The humanistic value lies in the hope of the Iranian people as they pour into the streets to express their emotions. It is a testament to the desire for freedom and a better life. Every individual in the global community has a responsibility to support peaceful voices. Human rights education will help raise collective awareness. If you found this article helpful and want to follow more deep analyses of current affairs, please hit like and subscribe to the channel today so you don't miss any updates. Your engagement is the driving force for us to bring higher quality content. Do you think that in such a context of power transition, Iran can find a path to long-term stability? Are the roles of education and religion enough to bind society together after a crisis? And finally, what do you expect most from international negotiations to bring peace to the Middle East? The event of Arafi joining the Leadership Council opens up many questions about the future. He is seen as the inheritor of a powerful ideological legacy. Experts assess that his experience in education will contribute to shaping new policies. Even so, the challenges remain demanding flexibility and listening. The international community is watching closely to better understand the internal dynamics. This change not only affects Iran but also ripples throughout the entire region. The lesson about the power of collective will reminds us that every nation needs internal unity. Civic education about history and politics will help the younger generation avoid repeating old mistakes. In the context of economic hardship, the Iranian people are hoping for a recovery. Support measures from the outside, if implemented correctly, can bring long-term benefits. We need to emphasize humanistic values in all policy decisions. Respect for life and human rights is the foundation for any development. Arafi in his new role has the opportunity to prove his comprehensive leadership capabilities. He has spent many years developing seminaries and universities. These contributions demonstrate a commitment to future generations. The global education community can draw lessons on how to combine knowledge with social responsibility. However, a power vacuum always comes with risks. Factions need to cooperate to avoid chaos. History has proven that a smooth transition will bring benefits to all. Educating the public about successful models will inspire many other nations. People around the world are witnessing a new chapter in Iran's history. This event serves as a reminder of the fragility of power. We should learn to appreciate everyday peace and stability. Every individual has a small role contributing to the grand picture of humanity. Through this story, we clearly see the value of patience and dialogue. Arafi, despite carrying many expectations, still needs support from the whole society. The educational lesson lies in encouraging the younger generation to participate in nation building. The future belongs to those who know how to listen and act for the common good. Iran is standing at a crucial crossroads requiring wisdom from its new leadership. The Interim Council is a positive step towards stability. The international community hopes for sustainable, peaceful solutions. Education on culture and religion will help bridge the gap between parties. Khamenei's departure leaves many profound lessons about leadership legacy. Arafi, with his solid foundation, can carry it forward responsibly. We need to observe to draw experiences for similar situations. Humanism is always the core element in any historical upheaval. The Iranian people are living in both hope and anxiety. It is a moment for the global community to show empathy. We can offer support through humanitarian channels and dialogue. Education on compassion will help build a better world. Arafi is described as someone loyal to the core ideals. His role in the council helps balance religious and administrative elements. Diversity in leadership brings benefits for sustainable development. This lesson applies to many countries around the world. In the context of war and economic change, Iran needs internal unity. Arafi can contribute to restoring social trust. We should encourage educational initiatives aimed at raising civic awareness. The future is brighter when everyone participates. The story of Arafi reminds us of the power of education in politics. He has dedicated his life to spreading knowledge. Future leaders should learn from this example. The community will benefit greatly from such efforts. Looking globally, the Iran event is a lesson in regional security. Stakeholders need to cooperate to minimize risks. Education on diplomacy will help the younger generation better understand their shared responsibilities. Peace is not an accident, but the result of continuous effort. The people on the streets of Iran are showing genuine emotions. That is a living testament to the desire for positive change. We need to respect and listen to those voices. Humanism is the bridge between different cultures. Arafi, with his new position, can become a symbol of a smooth transition. He carries with him rich baggage from education and religion. The international community should support steps taken for stability. The educational lesson lies in building trust through concrete actions. Iran's economy is facing many challenges after recent events. The new leadership needs to focus on recovery and development. We can learn from successful models around the world. Community economic education will help people participate more effectively. This event also highlights the role of the media in spreading accurate information. The community needs to clearly distinguish between news and speculation. The lesson on journalistic responsibility will elevate the quality of social discussion. Everyone has the right to access reliable knowledge. Arafi, with his religious leadership experience in Qom and his role in the diverse interim council, is highly regarded for his closeness to the people and potential for collective leadership. Will the power shift in Iran open up hopes for internal dialogue, peace, and justice in the context of a volatile Middle East? We should support humanism, educate on spiritual values, and avoid prejudices to build a harmonious, respectful, and sustainably developing society together. Do you think education can play a decisive role in shaping Iran's future leadership? Can neighboring countries effectively support this transition process? And what do you hope for most from the changes taking place in the Middle East? Through the journey of recounting this event, we clearly see the panorama of a nation seeking a new path. Arafi represents continuation and adaptation. The global education community should draw a lesson about human resilience in the face of challenges. The future always belongs to those who know how to learn from the past and act for the common good of humanity.